welcome back to the New York Gun Guys podcast. My name is John.
My name's Taylor.
Captain Steve isn't here today. I forgot to text him. He's going to be like, do you guys not like me anymore?
we like you, Stevie.
Guys, thanks for tuning in today. Check us out, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media stuff. Like us, share us, subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever else, Spotify, I don't know. Thanks for hanging out. Last week, as some of you may know, I did get married.
Yeah.
So we had to take a couple days off so we could deal with that. But
deal with that? No.
Well, dude, like with COVID and everything, and there were so many changes and people dropping out last minute just because they got scared. Like, oh my God, like everything was fine, but now because it's the day before your wedding, I'm really scared. Like,
right.
So it's just a lot of nonsense, but
wedding was very nice, John, and I'm very happy for you and your wonderful wife.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. You were there?
Yes.
I forgot.
Yeah, just in case. I actually was standing right next to you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. All right, so let's get into it. Taylor, we're talking about what are we talking about today? What do you have?
Oh well, this is a long overdue episode, and I can't believe we didn't do this one earlier. But we're going to be talking about the AR-15.
The AR-15.
The AR-15, the assault rifle 15, as some people like to call it on the left. I hate people. I know. So yeah, I mean, it's a long overdue episode, and it was one that I was kind of wrestling with for a while, just because of the sheer. It's not like there's just one AR-15, and that's the style. There's so many and so many differences, but even just the development of it and all the changes that took place in order to get it to where it is today. It really is the most popular rifle in America. It's the most ubiquitous. I mean, people call it America's rifle just for that one reason. But I'm not going to go too deep into the history, because I feel like sometimes when I go too deep into the history, it kind of takes away from what we really want to talk about. And some people are like, all right, enough. Like, we could look the shit up on Wikipedia. But, the gun was developed in the 50s. Like, originally in 308, the AR-10, and then scaled down to the AR-15.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you build this gun yourself?
I did.
This is a ghost gun.
No, it's not a ghost gun. No.
This is a ghost
gun.
gun.
It's not. It's not.
The 30 caliber
Oh,
clip.
no, it doesn't have that. No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, we have some sound clips now that we're going to be interjecting.
Under the potential bill though, in that we talked about a few episodes ago, this would actually be considered a ghost gun.
Even though it's a serialized lower, and I did transfer it at an FFL. This would be a home-built firearm in the eyes of the state.
Absolutely.
But, just one thing I wanted to mention was going back to the history a little bit. Basically, not to get too deep into it, like I said, but when they were testing the AR-15 for possible adoption, it was made by a company called Armalite, which was actually a division of Fairchild Aircraft. They were just an aerospace company. But they submitted these AR-15s for testing in 1958, and it said the test found that 5 to 7 man team armed with AR-15s had the same firepower as an 11-man team armed with M14s, and the soldiers armed with AR-15s could also carry 3 times more ammunition than those armed with the M14s, because it's a smaller, lighter round as opposed to a heavier, bigger round in 308.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, you guys can look up the AR-15 history. I'm sure it's out there. There's so much to cover. Tons of cool variations. The Vickers Guide books on the AR-15s are really good. Kind of like coffee table pseudo reference guides for some really cool and interesting history, facts, and variations. But the AR-15 in New York is really what I wanted to talk about. As you well know, the AR-15 is made of components. The lower receiver being the serialized actual, quote, firearm portion. The rest of it are just parts. Now, you could go out and buy a whole complete one that's already made. Smith & Wesson makes them. The M&P is a popular one that's out there. Ruger makes them. Colt makes. Everyone makes an AR-15, basically. But a lot of people, what they choose to do, especially in New York, is build them from scratch, from parts. You get an upper, you slap it on a lower, make it compliant, and then it's good. Or you make it compliant before you attach it to. But so this lower, this gun I've had for many years. We were talking about it a little bit before we started recording. I've had this since like 2012, 2011, sometime around that, 2010, 2011, because when I turned 21, I bought the lower. This is actually LRB Arms. They're actually on Long Island over in Nassau County. over, I think, in New Hyde Park. So this is an LRB Arms lower that I actually went and got from them. So a little bit of Long Island represent, New York.
Yeah. I mean, there's some local shops here that just build ARs.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, this one, so I got the lower.
Right. And
then I really wanted, this gun actually went through a couple of different changes, but when I built the gun, I kind of wanted it to be more of a target rifle. The AR-15 is very accurate intrinsically, but when you're building an AR-15, you really have to have a goal in mind. You really have to have a purpose. What do you want that gun to do? Because an AR-15 is accurate, but if you want it to be a target gun or a DMR or, a short-barreled, kind of entry gun, that kind of thing, home defense gun, you got to really select your components carefully in order to build it up. So with this gun, what I really wanted to do was put a really good barrel in it, put a really good trigger in it, and those are the things that really add to the gun's accuracy. So going from the front to the back of this gun, this barrel right here is actually a Fulton Armory magnetic particle inspected 5.56 chambered match grade barrel with a 1 in 8 twist. 1 in 8 twist rate represents how quick the rifling turns in the barrel. So generally AR-15s nowadays are like 1 in 7 to 1 in 9. Old school ARs are like 1 in 12 to 1 in 14 because they shot 55 grain ammo, and the slower twist rate was fine with that. At the end, I have a permanently attached thread protector, so it's a featureless gun. The barrel at the time when I bought it was like the most expensive thing, man. It was like $250 back then in 2011-ish, and nowadays, like, you could get like a whole upper sometimes for $250. So I really wanted to put my money in a good barrel because that would really help accuracy. I have a bipod, which I want to replace. It's a UTG bipod. It's nothing special. But, nowadays they make so much better bipods. Back in the day, it was either a Harris bipod or really nothing. The Harris was really heavy. I didn't like how clunky it was. And at the time, Nothing Fancy did a really good review on this UTG bipod. So I'm like, let me try it. And it just kind of stuck. The handrail is a Midwest Industries free float handrail. And when I built this gun, I wanted a free float handrail. And at the time, handrails were a lot different than they are today. At the time, it was all quad rails, these big, clunky quad rails. This one is a little bit bigger. It's a little beefy. It's got like vent holes in it. Just a single Picatinny rail on the top, but then you could attach sections of Picatinny rail in the holes. It's not an M-lock. This was before M-lock. So, like I said, it's a little old school by today's standards, but it works. The upper receiver is just a normal, just mil-spec upper. Lower is mil-spec lower. A2 stock, spur grip, single stage, 3.5-pound drop-in trigger, and a Nikon P223 scope. So, kind of lower mid-price scope, 4 to 12 power, does the job. But really, if I were to upgrade this gun, I'd definitely get a different handrail, probably a better scope, and a better bipod. But now getting into the AR-15 itself, why is it so popular? Because you can build it any way you want.
It's like Legos.
It really is. So I could take this upper off this gun and slap it on another AR, or I could take this lower and put it on another one. So, and I have other ARs too, but this one kind of represented because I've actually built this one myself. The barrel, I put the barrel in the upper receiver, fitted the gas block on. I did all that myself in a garage. So you could do it too. You just need some tools, a vise.
Right.
But the AR-15 in New York is kind of a point of contention because there's really, it's been kind of demonized in New York, laws and the way they write laws. It's meant to try and ban these. But realistically, a couple of parts you change out and it's suddenly safe.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get real technical, it's pretty much no different than a Mini 14.
It really isn't. Well, in operation. And when we spoke about the Mini 14, I spoke about why some people would like a Mini 14 in New York as opposed to an AR-15. Mm-hmm. Now, some people, what they do with the ARs in New York is they fix the mags. They fix the mag so you can have things like a pistol grip or a muzzle device or a forward grip.
Yeah, we know a couple people.
Yeah,
we were just talking to now a mutual buddy of ours who has. He and a buddy of his happen to both have ARs. They're both fixed mag compliant, all that stuff.
Well, this one is also compliant. So.
No, I mean it just makes
fixed mag to make it compliant.
Right.
Yeah. Now I didn't want to do a fixed. I don't personally like fixed mag AR-15s.
I'm not a fan of it.
I think that they're more so not a range toy, but they're not.
I think it's dangerous.
I do too.
For the shooter.
I've had some serious jams sometimes, man. And one time I bought a bolt carrier. Actually, it was in this gun. And it was in the 2012 panic buying, after Sandy Hook and Obama and all that.
Thanks, Obama.
I bought a bolt carrier, and it actually was defective. The staking wasn't proper on the gas key, and it wouldn't cycle right. It would double feed constantly. And I was still trying to figure out, all right, like, because it was in this gun. I'm like, did I not put the gas block on right? Like, I was trying to troubleshoot it. And it turned out to be the bolt carrier, and the gas key wasn't staked properly. So
how'd you figure that out?
Honestly, at that point, I started just changing parts. I changed the gas block. Okay, that
makes sense.
Yeah. So then I got to the bolt, and I was looking, and I bought a new bolt, and I compared it. I'm like, yeah, the staking on this isn't right at all. When I say staking, there's on the bolt carrier, there's a part on top. It's called the gas key, and the gas comes in from the gas tube, hits that, and that's what brings the gas into the bolt carrier to turn the bolt. That's inside the carrier. If it's not staked properly, if it's not held in place properly, gas can leak out of that, and it could cause cycling issues. So I put a new bolt carrier grouping because at the time they were kind of more affordable, and it ran fine from then on. So I'm like, all right, this bolt carrier is just kind of for shit. But I got it at the height of the panic buying in 2012, and probably it was just one of those things somebody bought or tried to assemble them even, and just was just selling them. So that is something that you have to troubleshoot when you build a gun yourself. You can't just take it back to a company or a store and say, hey, this gun isn't working. But what was it? I forget what I was talking about before I went on that little spiel.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, the fix mag, right. So I in dealing with that crappy bolt carrier group, I've had some really wicked double feeds, some jam ups that the first thing you do is you have to drop the mag. You can't, you could try pulling the bolt back, but sometimes it might get jammed up. So the first thing you do is drop the mag. Well, on a fixed mag gun, you can't do that. So to me, a gun that's so sealed up like an AR15, it has the dust cover that can close and open. There's only an ejection port to really get into in order to clear a malfunction.
Right.
I personally wouldn't want a fixed mag AR.
Yeah.
The first thing, drop the mag, rack the bolt back, and see what's going on.
Yep.
And if you, for example, if your bolt, I have the gun in my hands. If the bolt carrier, actually, you know what I'm going to do, John? I'm going to put this on the table with the bipod, so that way we can both look at what I'm talking about here. So let's just put this here. It's kind of a long gun. It's got a 20-inch barrel. I forgot to mention that earlier. 20-inch barrel. Okay, there we go. Now we can both see what I'm talking about. So if the bolt carrier comes back halfway, it goes into the stock. And if it's jammed up enough, you can't break the gun open to clear a malfunction. You know what I mean? So the only way you could do it is to go through the mag well. Well, if the mag is fixed, the only way to go through it is through the ejection port. Okay. Right. Sometimes I saw a picture of one jam. Oops, sorry, shit. I know, I'm all over the place today. I saw a picture of one jam where the bullet went up over the gas tube and the inside of the upper receiver. How are you going to get to that if you can't access it from the mag well?
Right.
Or if you can't break the gun open to remove the bolt carrier? So to me, having a fixed mag gun, it's not serious to me. It's just like, it's a workaround to the state laws, yeah, but it's not serious, The biggest thing about having a semi-automatic is the ability to accept detachable magazines, which is the one thing they were trying to ban in New York. So to me, having a detachable mag is the greatest thing. And if you ever take this gun out of state, you could put a high cap mag in it.
Right.
So, why would you only want to limit yourself to 10 rounds if you kind of don't have to in some circumstances?
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
I think it is too. This one has a spur grip on it as well, which I'm not a huge fan of.
They're fucking... Oh, God. It's ugly.
But you know what? It's ugly, but this gun, I mostly... It's got a bipod on it. You kind of bench shoot it or you're prone, so it's not like a run and gun type gun.
Sure.
I mean, it can be if you really want it to be. I mean, any gun can be. But this one, the purpose of which I set it up for is... You're shooting it from a fixed position, from a bench, you're on the prone, you're on the ground, you're resting the gun on something. So the grip isn't the most important thing. On other guns that I have a spur grip on it, but that gun is a shorter AR-15. It's got a 16-inch barrel on it.
Yeah.
And that one, it's a little uncomfortable, but you can manage. You just have to use your left hand to really manipulate the gun from the handguard. Talking about optics, a lot of times nowadays, red dots are like the most popular thing. I mean, they're great. They're really functional for short to even medium range, 100 yards, 150 yard engagements. If you want to get a scope for your AR, really any scope will do. But honestly, some of them, this one here, this Nikon P223, it's a BDC reticle. So basically, it stands for bullet drop compensator. So on the vertical crosshair, you zero your gun. I zeroed it at 100 yards, but then it has set on the crosshairs. It has set like hash marks for different ranges. So if it's zeroed at 100, the next one down is 200, then 300, 400. So what you have to do is just hold over onto that specific hash mark to get your range, which I really like. I find that nowadays companies are making scopes and red dots specifically designed for AR platform guns, which kind of takes the guesswork out of a lot of the shit, and it really just gets you out shooting instead of fucking with calculating windage and calculating holdovers, which, to be honest, I'm not really that kind of person, you know? I'm not the marksman. I'm not the, you know, the sniper.
So what do? You kind of just guesstimate the distance and then line up the hash that works for that.
Well, yeah, you could do
range.
That. Or like I said, if you're at a known range, so
or
like,
if you know, I mean, yeah, if you know, that's different.
Right.
But I'm talking about let's say you decided, Taylor, to take this hunting.
right,
You know, you
Right.
don't know the distance,
Right.
but you would guesstimate.
right, I would
Okay.
guesstimate, and if I know the gun is zeroed at 100 yards,
Right.
you could even look through the reticle if you want, John. I have these scope covers on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can look through the reticle, and you'll see that they're kind of staggered on the vertical.
I've shot this gun before.
Yeah, you have.
So I remember.
So yeah, you could kind of estimate the range. Some people carry like a laser rangefinder on them.
Okay.
And then you could go there. Also, you
Right.
could adjust what that zero is. So if I have it zeroed for 100 yards, depending on the type of ammunition, then I could adjust this top knob up here to where that center crosshair is now 200 yards, and then each one under is 3, 4, 5. So it's actually a pretty cool system. The scope had a lot of features. It's an older scope, but it had a lot of features at the time. And it's a 4-12, so it's not a super high power scope.
It's
big.
Well,
It's big, yeah.
It's long, bro.
It's long, but as I said, now the scopes are a little bit better than they
It's
were.
like probably a third of the length of the gun.
Well, yeah, and some people put a sunshade on them, and then
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just the gun looks cool as hell.
Right.
Minus the spur grip.
Well, yeah, I mean the spur grip, and then I have an A2 stock on it.
Right.
So that's this gun in particular, and people could talk all day about what they put in their ARs. I think though the AR is a great gun for New York gun owners. I mean, it's the platform for the others. You know what I mean? The most prevalent platform for the other type rifles. The non-NFA, still kind of gray area firearms. Some people say it's legal 100%. Some people will say it's gray area. We did an episode on them. Go check it out. But I think in New York, it's a great gun because it's modular. If you ever needed to, you just take the upper off the lower, and at that point, it's not a gun. It's a firearm. It's nothing. It's not semi-automatic. It's not bolt action. It's just a firearm. So if you ever,
I wonder if they could if you had both parts, they could.
I mean, they could always say
they could say there's intent to do
constructive
it.
possession or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're at that point already, if you've committed a crime or whatever. But honestly, like I said, you could have this one lower and you could have 4 different uppers, and they could all serve a different purpose.
Right.
So that's a cool thing also. And the way AR parts are nowadays, as opposed to when I built this gun in like 2011, 2012, they're so much more prevalent and they're so much more affordable, man. I remember back in the day, they weren't as affordable as they are now. Like ARs were still, like I said, the big quad rails, tactical. DPMS was like a popular brand. Rock River Arms was another popular brand. I actually built one of my ARs from a Model 1 sales parts kit, which I don't even know if they're still in business. But this was before like PSA came into the picture, Palmetto State Armory. Really before like all these manufacturers really started kind of mass produced. I mean, they were mass produced, but nowadays they're a lot more affordable and more prevalent. Back then it was like you didn't have that many choices, and you kind of had to build up from existing guns a lot of the time. So that's why when I wanted to build this gun, I couldn't really find anything that I liked and that was also compliant at the time. And at the time in New York, you could have a pistol grip. So, when I made this gun compliant post Safe Act, I just swapped it out for this grip, and it was fine.
Yeah.
So
what's crazy, if they do pass that new bill, whatever it is, 11112, whatever.
Oh yeah.
You're not even gonna be able to, let's say you did have a pistol grip on your gun, you can't even convert it without you suddenly becoming a
gunsmith.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
And that's another thing too. They
So
design these laws. If they can't ban the gun, they'll design laws to where they'll ban you from making the gun or acquiring the gun in parts. So that was really the intent of that law, is to stop people, because they say, all right, we don't want semi-automatic rifles that could accept a detachable magazine and have these features in New York. Okay, well, this here is a semi-automatic gun that takes a detachable magazine that doesn't have any of those features. So what now?
Right.
Oh, well, if you built it yourself, then you can't build it. Otherwise, you're a gunsmith. And if you're not a licensed gunsmith, it's illegal.
Yep.
Well, what's the difference between me buying one like this and building one like this? If the lower is serialized and I did the background check, then what's the issue? Mm-hmm. And that's what they are trying to stop in New York.
Well, they want it registered, too. That's a workaround, because the ghost gun...
This is a ghost gun.
They want, if you're gonna have it, they want it registered. They want it to be registered, and that's kind of part of that whole 111 whatever 2 bill, is that it's gonna get built by a gunsmith, needs to be registered by a gunsmith.
So is all the gunsmith gonna do just like literally attach the upper and the lower and then say it's built? Because if I already have a completed upper,
you can't do the way, not to get into that bill, but it was like assembling any parts. Yeah.
Oh,
it said like if assembling the components. So like if you put anything on any part of it.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is it, for example, if I take this upper off the lower, technically the upper isn't a firearm. Although some people do argue, there was actually a court case in California that argued that the lower receiver, the AR, isn't the actual firearm. It should be the upper receiver, because that's where the barrel mates to, that's where the bolt carrier is. But you know, that's a whole different bag of worms. You could look up that court case. You know, so if I were to build the upper, technically the upper isn't the firearm. So if I build the component parts of a firearm, but that isn't on a firearm.
Well, that is the component parts. I mean, it's the component parts of a whole piece. Yeah. And then going further with like what you were saying, having like separate uppers and like one lower, you won't be able to do that, because you can't disconnect and then reconnect the different parts.
Right. And so then does that mean that lower theory, will have to have like 5 different serial numbers on it to correspond to the 5 different uppers? You know? Maybe
the uppers will have to be, you know, serialized, but it's just crazy. Like you couldn't even switch out the scope.
Yeah.
without bringing it.
A scope isn't a component part of a firearm.
Is it on your gun?
It is.
It's a component part.
I don't know.
It doesn't define it. It's broad as hell.
Oh, I also have Magpul M-Bus backup sights on this. I forgot to mention that. That's a little old school too, but they have much better flip-up sights. These are like the first gen M-Bus sights.
They're cartoonish looking.
Yeah, well, that's what things were back in 8 years ago for ARs.
They're ugly.
They're
ugly.
Yeah, I mean,
those are ugly. The rest of the gun looks cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, things were very big and bulky back then.
A little ugly.
Yeah, things were very big and bulky 8 years ago. Now ARs have streamlined, they've slimmed down. People have gotten a lot more commonsensical about it, but I'm not about to tear this gun apart and replace parts if I really don't need to.
Right.
Because it works. It is a heavy gun, but the barrel is beefy. Mm-hmm. It's a heavy barrel. It's a heavy profile barrel.
Chrome line?
I don't believe this one's chrome lined. I don't believe it is. It's a match grade barrel. Generally, match grade barrels aren't chrome lined. And that's another thing, too. If you're, like I said earlier, the most important part of the AR-15 is the barrel. I could give a crap about a trigger because a lot of guns have crappy triggers.
Yeah.
The bolt carrier is second important. The gas system is third, because the gas system, obviously, you could use a mil-spec gas system and it'll work just as fine as I wouldn't even say high-end gas system, because really the only thing that's different is the gas block. Low profile versus standard. You could have a bomb-proof installation one where you put like screws that go into the barrel a little bit to hold it. Like to me, the most important part of the AR, at the heart of it, is the barrel. You have a good barrel, you have a good gun. You have a good bolt that mates into that barrel, you have a good system, because that's basically what a gun is, building around a bolt and a barrel. Now, in terms of what you design a gun for, the barrel could either be made of stainless steel, which is really good for target shooting. That's what a lot of higher-end barrels are made of. It could be 4150, 4140 chrome moly, chrome lined. That's generally like what your mil-spec barrels is a 4150 chrome lined. That's what like M4s, M16s are made of. That's the heavy-duty stuff. That's going to give you the longest barrel life, but some people say that chrome lining isn't the most accurate process because it's an additive into the barrel. you have to add chrome lining to the inside of an already machined or cold hammer forged barrel. Again, it's a trade-off. How accurate do you want to be? Are you the guy that wants to be within, a quarter inch or shooting dimes, or whatever? Or are you looking to say, okay, within, 1 MOA, 2 MOA is okay for me. Minute of angle at 100 yards. So 1 inch group at 100 yards, 2 inch group at 200 yards, etc.
Well, I guess what are you using it for? Hunting,
right?
You don't have to, an animal's, you could be a little off. But if you're going to go into, professional, sporting, things like that, then
and that's where your money is going to be put into. And then again, if you're going to be in that role, then an optic, a really good optic, a clear optic with a good objective lens, with good eye relief, with good magnification, is going to run you some money. So it's all a trade-off. So for me, the most important part was the barrel. The second most important part was, actually, this has just a regular AIM surplus nitride bolt carrier in it. So it's not even anything that special. It's just nitrided. So for this gun, it was the barrel, the optic, and the trigger. Those were the three things that I wanted. The handrail, it's a free float handrail. They're like a dime a dozen. But on other guns, I have a chrome lined 16-inch barrel because that's more of the handy, shorter carbine. That if I want to put a lot of rounds through, that chrome lining is really going to help. It's a cold hammer forged chrome lined barrel. And to me, that's the most important thing. If you're looking to get like an M4 style gun, nitrided and melanided barrels are cool. They're cheap, but you look at what the barrel is made out of. The best is like 4150, 4140 chrome moly steel. Those are like what FN calls their machine gun steel. A lot of guns made for PSA, the premium uppers, the cold hammer forged barrels, are made by FN. So those are good barrels. Again, it just, like I said, depends on what you want to do. This gun, I don't believe, it's not chrome lined. It's a match grade barrel. But I'm not shooting thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds through this. I'm not dumping hundreds and hundreds of rounds through this at a time. I'm not heating up the barrel so much to where it's going to get red hot, And that's one thing to consider too. But that's just for this gun. So
it's a nice gun.
Listen, this is one of my favorite ARs. Yeah. The trigger is great. I forget who makes this trigger. It's a single stage drop-in unit, 3.5 pound trigger. I find though that I do like a double stage trigger better. So when I say single stage versus double stage, so here, if I rack this again, if I go to press the trigger, it breaks. There's not like some creep and then a wall.
I have a Glock. I know what it is.
Well, no. Okay, well, I'm just saying in rifle. So like,
okay, yeah.
So single stage is just pull, click.
Yeah.
A double stage, there's some take up.
There's take up, right?
And then there's a wall, and then okay, that's when I know it's going to break. Because with this one, it's like when I go to pull the trigger, okay, that's when I'm going to shoot. But sometimes it's like you want to know. Some people say let the gun surprise you. I don't really think you want to know when the gun's going to shoot. That's just
depends.
That's how I just view it. Because if you let the gun surprise you, then
it definitely depends on how. That's advice for like new shooters.
Yeah,
or people who don't shoot all the time.
But I don't think that's a good piece of sound advice because I want to know when that gun's going to go off. I don't want it to be a surprise.
I think it's good advice for somebody who's trying to learn and they are trying to understand compensation for recoil, things like that.
Right.
You get rid of obviously, if you're not expecting it to go off,
don't anticipate it. So don't anticipate the recoil, but you should know when that recoil's coming. Don't let it surprise you.
As somebody who shoots as often as you, yes, but I'm saying like a new person, that's good advice. Like I think it's good advice.
Right. So now, John, if you were to want to build an AR, because you don't have an AR-15,
yeah.
So if you were to build an AR-15, what would be your type of gun that you would want to build?
I would definitely have a pistol grip on it.
Well, you can because you're law enforcement.
I know.
All right.
I would definitely have it take detachable magazines because I can.
Yeah. Well, I would just tell you to get one that takes detachable mags anyway.
I know. I'm just fucking around. But I don't know. I would probably, I don't know, man, because I go back and forth between like a shorter barreled, light type of versus something like this. I would love just to put rounds downrange and be super accurate. Right. I also have been wanting to get into hunting.
Yeah.
So this might be a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever wanted to go hunting?
I have, and I actually have to talk to you off mic about that because next year I might be doing that.
Oh yeah.
So I want to talk to you about that.
I would love to go.
Yeah. So
if that's you.
Well, I'll talk to you about it.
This
I'll
guy's
talk to you about it,
looking
and
at me
then
and smiling like a weirdo.
next year we might have some cool things going on. Which
I'm gonna have to build an AR.
Well, the whole thing is now with ARs, there's a lot of places
Yeah.
where you hunt. There's caliber restrictions. You can't
Yeah.
hunt with anything less than a 30 caliber or something like that, which a 223 is not a 30 caliber.
Right.
So you can hunt with an AR-10.
Yeah.
And some places actually have hunting restrictions with semi-automatics.
Mm-hmm.
They either have to be bolt action
Right.
or lever action or some
Yeah.
sort of manual. So the AR in some circles is not allowed for hunting.
Right.
The AR platform, a semi-automatic of any smaller caliber.
I've seen people. These are like professional,
Yeah.
not hunters, but people who like I guess they're more. It's probably like more so like on the pest control side. Like you ever see the videos of the guys in the airplanes like flying by shooting up wild hogs? Just
the
like
helicopters.
dude, it's fucking like they like got some shit like this and boop, 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 boop.
I know.
Like it's the coolest shit. It looks like it would be just the coolest job of all time.
I know.
Like you swooping by on a fucking helicopter,
Oh,
just
man.
laying down fucking hellfire.
Oh, I know. You need like Creedence Clearwater Revival playing in the background.
It's just like it's cool as hell. It just looks awesome.
Yeah. So some places, like I said, have caliber restrictions, and they restrict the type of firearm you can hunt with. So if you're in an area where you can hunt with an AR-15, it's a good choice for most game.
Yeah.
Load. What type of ammunition you use. You want to use a heavier bullet.
Right.
You want to make sure you're ethical about it.
Sure.
Shot placement is key.
Of course.
And that's all things to consider. Honestly, depending on the game, 223 is fine. I wouldn't hunt an elk with 223, but pigs should be fine.
Definitely pigs. Yeah, like wild hogs and shit would definitely be fine.
People take deer with 223 all the time. It's a good round, and it lends itself to being very accurate for that.
Yeah, I think that if I was gonna build one like right now with the lower I have that I've had for years.
You do have a lower. Yeah, I forgot you got that years ago. Jesus.
Years ago. Dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I know. I got it so long ago. It's in the safe.
Yeah.
It would probably be something like this, like a longer barrel for long range use. I don't really have anything like that,
Mm-hmm. A friend of ours, I kind of advised him because he wanted to build an AR. Now he finally did during this time. But
yeah, what kind did he build? Because I haven't seen it. Or
he wanted to build like a target rifle, kind of like this one. And I told him that he kind of wanted to be like a DMR. Which is a designated marksman's rifle. So it's kind of a cross between like an infantry style rifle and a quote sniper rifle. I use that term very loosely, but I say sniper rifle because people know what I'm talking about. When I say sniper rifle, they're like, oh, okay. So he actually got one of those. He got an 18-inch barreled upper from PSA with a free float M-lock handrail.
Okay.
It's the premium upper, so it's got the 4150 Cold Hammer Forge chrome line barrel. And I told him, like, if I were to build an AR like the one you want to build, this is what I would build. And that would be the handrails that they make now are like slimmer, lighter, more modular. The 18-inch barrel, really anything past 18 inches, you don't really gain anything ballistically. It's kind of shown. So like a 20-inch barrel is kind of like, okay, that's the standard.
What do you have on this?
This is a 20-inch
You have
barrel.
20-inch, yeah.
20-inch barrel is good, because that's kind of like, that's what they were back in like the Vietnam days. They were like a 20-inch barrel. At anything after 18, 20 inches, you don't gain any velocity. So 18 inches is fine. He said he bought a Viper scope, a Vortex scope. I think he's a Viper, but I'm not sure exactly. And then he got, just a normal lower parts kit. I think he's going to be getting one of the single stage triggers. He's piecing it together, but the big thing was the assembled upper, which I told him, look, if I were to build something that could kind of be used for, let's just say, more precision work. I'm not going to say super accurate because, again, it is a chrome lined barrel. It's not like a match grade barrel. But trust me, it'll be fine. Like, people like quibbling. I saw a video the other day, and it was a video by this guy on the Firearm blog. And they did, I don't know if it's an older video or not, but they did a comparison between like a $1,500 gun with like a $1,300 scope on it versus like a $450 DPMS. And realistically, they did the same fucking thing. Like, they were shooting at a...
Were they shooting at range?
Yeah, they were shooting at 100... No, they were just shooting at 100 yards. And, like, I think the biggest group was, like, 3 inches. And each gun, it was kind of like the guy said at the end of the video, it was a tie. Because, like, some ammo, they were using all different kinds of ammo. Wolf, PMC, like, Brazilian ammo. Right. And it kind of averaged out amongst the two. So I'm like, intrinsically, like anything nowadays with an AR, anything between like 1 and 2 MOA is fucking perfectly fine, unless you want to be that match shooter that really needs to get down to, an inch group at 300 yards. Mm-hmm. To me, that's not my practical sense. And
I mean, some people love going to the range and just laying down like the tightest groups, and that's fun to them, and I'm okay with that.
I
like
think the best
we
group,
have we call him a mutual acquaintance. He has a Ruger 1022 with a scope that might be longer than yours here, and he was shooting quarters.
Did you see him shoot quarters?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw him do it? All right.
Yeah.
I sometimes I don't like,
No, I witnessed this.
Right.
He was shooting quarters. It's pretty accurate. I mean, for a 22, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
you know,
I think the best group that I ever got with this was like 1.25 inches at like 100 yards. But listen, I'm not the best shooter. I'm not professionally trained, so that was just me just going there and just doing my thing with this.
Yeah, I mean, he did like
the gun outshoots better than me.
Yeah,
I think.
we went to the range and he like spent the entire time like sighting it in.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not even gonna go there with that dude. But I come from the world of shooting old ass guns, like where 4 MOA was acceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so to me, it's like, oh shit, 1 inch. Pff, that's pick an inch square on your body. Yeah, and you're fucking.
Well, when
fine.
you're talking about like combat shooting and stuff like that, like you've seen, like, for example, like, not, you guys have never seen me shoot at the range, but when I shoot at the range and I set up a target, I'm not like I'll just set up a piece of paper,
right?
And I'm not necessarily trying to hit within the silhouette, but I know the paper itself is shoulder, about shoulder width, average shoulder width of a person. So if I'm hitting within the paper, I know. And I'm not talking about, like, obviously, like, if I stand there and shoot accurately, slowly, it's going to be a lot better. But doing, like, draw fire, under pressure, it's just different.
I would love to take a class, like a long range rifle class. I know they're a bit pricey, and it's usually like a weekend thing, and it's kind of a thing. But also with this gun, that inch and a 1.5 inch or something, I was shooting that with just regular Federal 55 grain 223. That's not match ammo. That's not 75 grain boat tail hollow points.
Right.
That's not premium ammo. That was I built this gun so I could shoot accurately with just off the shelf Walmart ammo. I'm not putting steel through it.
R.I.P. Walmart don't sell.
Well, yeah,
R.I.P.
Pouring out for the homie.
Rip.
But that was the original intent with this gun. Obviously, some people say, "Oh, you're putting cheap ammo through a match grade barrel." Well,
who cares?
Listen, am I going to have thousands of rounds of match grade ammo on hand? No.
Yeah.
If I can shoot match grade ammo with this and tighten up a group, even better. That'd be fucking great. But the ammo that I have,
people are so fucking like pretentious about
I know.
things, dude. Like, who gives a fuck, dude?
If I'm not at a match shooting, if I'm not like at Camp Perry, Ohio,
I just don't understand. Like, someone to come up to you and be like, "Oh, why are you shooting that ammo through your gun?" Like, dude, go back to where you came from.
Right.
Like, go back 3 benches down and like shut up.
It's the ammo that's most affordable, most plentiful. Well, not nowadays, but it's 55 grain. It's a standard. That's what the military was using before they adopted the 62 grain SS-109. It's the most commonly available ammo, and that's what I wanted to zero my gun for.
Yeah.
Just like with my commie guns, the SKSs and stuff, I'm not going to put match grade ammo through them. It's going to be the common steel case Tula.
Right.
And so, maybe I'm not doing maybe I'm not getting the most out of this barrel by not shooting premium match grade ammo. But listen, I can't afford premium match grade ammo. I can, but
it's your fucking gun. You shoot it the way you want.
Right.
I don't like.
This was meant
people
to be,
always have some shit
and
to say.
at the time, when I built this at the time, if I were to remember the components, I think that I said the barrel was $250. The scope I got actually brand like new used off somebody for like $150. The lower was less than $100. The upper was like $60. The A2 stock was like $60.
That's super cheap. You look at like prices for shit.
The handrail was like $185 or something like that. I think all in all, the most expensive part I think that I paid for was during the 2012 panic buying was, I think, the bolt carrier. I think I paid like $250 for a bolt carrier because they weren't available. Yeah. But other than that, man, I mean, this is a sub $1,000 gun. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And nowadays, some places are selling Smith & Wesson M&P Sports for $1,500. So, and that's just a regular run-of-the-mill, not match grade,
Yeah.
But listen, I'm not tooting my own horn on this. This was years ago that I built this, so obviously prices are different.
Was this your first build?
No, this was my second AR-15 I built. The first AR-15 I built was, like I said, was that Model 1 sales gun. That was just, I got the upper, and actually, you got the computer in front of you. Just do me a favor. See if Model 1 sales is still a company. I'm curious. I'm very curious. See if they're still around. Some of you may know that, like I said, back in the day, it was like Rock River Arms, DPMS, Model 1 sales. They were like, yeah, they are?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, their website's still here.
Oh, shit. They still sell like parts kits and stuff?
Complete AR-15 complete bolt carrier assembly in stock now.
Oh, that's cool.
Lower parts set.
Yeah. But wow, I'm surprised to see they're still in business.
Yeah.
Some people used to give them shit, but like,
why?
Because that was like back then that was like the lower end of like AR-15 stuff. Like if it wasn't like Rock River or if it wasn't Colt, it wasn't, shit basically. Or, you had some boutique manufacturers doing stuff. But like I said, back then, man, even 8 years ago, the AR market was vastly different than it is now. Very different. You didn't have a lot of the options that you have today, which, a lot of times you bought a gun back then and then customize it. You didn't really build it up like you did now, like you could now. So that, that's... I'm surprised. I'm glad to see they're still around. My Model 1 sales gun.
Poking around.
Yeah, my Model 1 sales gun that I have is very good. I really like it. It's actually cool. It was a compliant. How do I put this?
This look. You could buy a 20-inch standard rifle kit for less than $500
yeah.
on here.
Okay. Well, they're still then
20-inch barrel.
affordably priced.
Yeah.
It's in stock?
Says I could buy now.
Oh, shit.
Let me click it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Here we go. Check out.
John buys a gun parts kit live on the New York Gun Guys podcast. Well, man, I'll have to look it over with you, see if there's something that you like on there.
No, I was just poking around. I mean, it's like your average AR,
right?
With like the shitty tapered like hand.
Like an A2
guard.
style.
Yeah,
I love those.
Yeah,
I love retro shit, man.
Yeah,
and that's another thing too. Speaking of the AR market, the
standard.
retro guns are coming back. Brownells has a line of retro guns that they clone M16A1s, they clone prototype guns, they clone the XM177. So what's old is new again in the world of AR-15. Retro AR-15s are now a very popular thing, which, 8 years ago it was, oh, I don't want that junk. Give me a quad rail. Yeah, give me a light, a laser, a vertical grip.
I wonder if like they still have shit in stock just because like no one knows about it.
Maybe.
Because I typed in Model 1 and like in Google and like nothing came up for this.
Yeah, they were like...
shit, I might have just given away the secret.
Sometimes, back then they had kind of like this reputation of like bad customer service, like whatever. I don't know. I didn't have a problem
put a
with them.
copyright in here for they recopyright their website 2020, so they're still kicking. If anybody has any like experience with them, let us know.
Well, my experience was like 8 years. Actually, it was a long time ago.
We may have to do an experiment. I mean, maybe I'll get my parts from here.
Maybe. I know, if I remember correctly, the website, like there was a base price and then there was like add-on options, and then it kind of adds up from there.
Well, there's all the standard shit,
yeah,
and it's already there, and it's $485. It's the 16-inch AR-15 lightweight CAR kit in 5.56, and then there's a tier up, which is all the same shit, but then there's a 1 to 9-inch twist chrome line,
yeah,
and that's $520, but that's not bad. And then you can choose like additional shit, and it adds money, but like. The 520 is, I guess, just all their standard options.
Right, the standard stuff.
But I mean, 520 is not a bad price.
No, in today's market.
So, and that's all the parts you need.
Yeah,
it's fucking done for you. You just put it together.
We'll have to look over that.
Yeah.
We'll look over that together.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but listen, I love the AR-15. I love older AR-15s. Like I said, the retro guns are so fucking cool. They're making a comeback. I mean, you look up. I see things online like old parts kits, like old guns. Actually, recently, I think it was this year, the Mosin Crate, a company that does like surplus firearms, they imported police used guns from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico had like old school 601s, which is an old AR-15, And they demilled the receiver, but they brought the parts kits in. I mean, those were going for like $1,000-something, $2,000 just for the old school parts kits because people want those original historical parts. Because I mean, like I said, the AR-15 was designed in the 50s. It's a historical gun. I mean, it was alongside the FAL. Not too long after the AK was invented. So I mean, it's a very historical firearm, and I laugh when people say, "Oh, it's a modern assault rifle." I'm like, well, it's been around since the 50s. So, and my gun is an assault rifle. Mine's a semi-automatic and hasn't assaulted anybody. So,
Yeah.
take it as you will.
So stupid.
Right.
Man.
And I mean, I don't know if you shot an M16, like an actual full auto
No.
M16. I've shot M16.
I have shot nothing full auto ever. We should have went.
What?
Well,
You should have came with me to the machine gun shoot.
I couldn't. I had work.
Listen.
You can't tell me like 3 days before I'm going to a machine gun shoot, take off of work. Dude, it don't work like that.
Well,
I mean, and it's like in the middle. One of the things that you don't understand about like my work and like my hours and shit is that like when you take off in the middle of the week, it fucking sucks and it fucks up the whole rest of your week because like I work midnights. So like let's say we because my schedule rotates, we call it day 1, day 2, day 3. If you take off like day 3 and then like you go to a machine gun shoot, you don't fucking sleep. Like day 4, you're fucking sitting in a patrol car, fucking nodding off, dude. Like, and I don't work in a good spot. It's like, so it's
man.
like
Well,
it has to be like day 1 or day 5.
If I go to another one, then you're definitely gonna come.
We should have went during the bachelor party. But I know you were saying it was very expensive. I know. I'm glad we didn't because it would have been such a waste of money to have to like rent the actual gun and then buy the ammo.
Literally, it was $85 to just hold the gun, and then it was $35 for a 30 round.
Yeah,
mag.
no, that's fucked up.
And
I'd rather like the DNA guns thing that you did. I think next time.
Yeah.
Do they have another one coming up?
I think next year.
Let me just see. I can tell you right now what DNA. Would it be on there?
Well, it's either at the Shooter's Gauntlet because they went to the one in the Shooter's Gauntlet, or it might be on their Facebook page. I mean, you could look, but I would look up like 2021 machine gun shoot the Shooter's Gauntlet because that's the one.
It's got to be like under their events page.
Maybe, yeah. But
oh no, they have September 14th.
Okay,
that was this year.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, that was well, I guess that was 2019. You didn't do one in 2020?
Yeah. Oh, we did. No, we went to this one.
That was a different one.
Well, that company went to an actual event at this place called the Shooter's Gauntlet in Monroe, Pennsylvania.
Let me look that up.
But yeah, honestly, like an M16 is really cool to shoot. Very smooth, very mild recoil, very controllable.
The next machine gun shoot is June 5th and 6th. 2021.
All right. Well, John, I know.
Well, let me look. I could look.
You can look at his calendar. Well, I was about to say the New York Gun Guys might do a live broadcast from.
How are we going to do a live broadcast?
I mean, listen, we just go on Instagram and we do a live,
and then we get insta banned because we're fucking displaying
promoting firearms. Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll figure it out somehow, or maybe we'll do some audio recording while we're there. And just, it'll just be like hellish gunfire. Dude, it was the loudest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I'm off those 2 days.
Oh, shit.
I'm off. Yeah. So, like, I get home on Friday the 4th, like, in the morning.
Yeah.
And then have all day Saturday
mark
off.
your calendar, and that's what we're doing. And we're going to get
it's official now because we definitely have to go.
We've set it on the air.
It's forever. You will pull this up and be like, no, you said we're going.
Yeah, you said.
You fucking said it.
We were waiting this whole time.
No, listen, dude, you've gone to like a couple of them now, and I've missed out on both, so.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm sure
you'll have a good time.
I'm sure. But
I've also shot, like I said, other guns. Chamberlain 223. I shot the G36, the H&K G36. That was a cool gun. Very smooth, man. But yeah, the 223 lends itself very well for full auto fire, and that's why from in the beginning when I said, a group of 5 to 7 men armed with AR-15s have the same firepower as 11 men with M14s. I mean, it's very smooth gun. It's very accurate. You can carry more ammo, and it just lends itself to be a very modular gun. I mean, I really don't know what much else I could say without going into, okay, how do we build an AR-15? Which is plenty of stuff on YouTube and forums. And but like I said, the biggest thing is if you want to build an AR-15, have a goal in mind of what you want to do with it. it's easier to start from the ground up with an objective than just to take a gun and then convert it into something else. Shop around. Now's not the best time to be buying gun parts, but there's still some deals to be found.
I mean, Model 1 sales seems to have them very affordable.
God, I haven't been on that website since like 2012.
It looks like a 2012 website. It still looks like shitty HTML. Like, it looks like fucking MySpace.
Oh my God!
I think this has a top 3 friends, top 5 right
top
here.
8?
Yeah,
Are they in your top 8?
Yeah. Bro. Like your girl had to be top 1, and then
God.
like your best friend got booted to fucking.
You didn't give me a ride to
whoever is listening, this has got to be old enough to know.
You didn't give me a ride to Spencer's, so you're down to 4.
Yeah. Or you'd like work out a deal, be like, listen, I'll get you in the top 8.
Yeah.
If you hook me up, by
Whatever.
Like what the fuck?
If you take me to FYE and get me tickets. Back in that day, the Ticketmaster booth.
Spencer's. What's the Hot Topic?
Yeah, Hot Topic. Hot Topic's still around, man.
So is Spencer's.
Yeah,
it's amazing that they're still around, man.
God.
They're like so like 90s and like early 2000s. It's fucking great.
I got to take my girl to Claire's to get her some earrings.
Claire's, Ashley buys fucking. We're used to because they have
his
like
wife.
she doesn't have like crazy. She has like a lot of piercings on her ears. So like she's got like I don't even know. They're like the only fake ones that like she's not like allergic to because she's got like a thing where some of the metals. Yeah,
my wife.
So like they just happen to be there.
Yeah.
So it's funny. She'll be like, "Oh, we have to go to Claire's. I have to get a couple more of my earrings." Like,
but so yeah. I mean, listen. If they're still in business, God bless them, man. They
telling you, man.
The gun is I have still works great. So
they have a catalog.
Yeah.
PDF catalog.
I would call and be like, "Hey, you guys still around?"
Dude, they fucking did their shit in
2020.
Like I said, 2020. Yeah, I mean, they gotta be around.
I don't know.
Someone had to actively write that. The shit just don't. This website, I'm telling you, this shit just doesn't do it itself. I mean, call them right now.
Call them on the air.
Yeah, why not? Are you still around?
No. But yeah, have a goal in mind. Figure out what you want to do with it, and then go from there. If you can buy a complete upper that totally fits your purpose, great. Saves you the time and labor, but you're going to pay a little bit more for it.
I'm just looking at this website. I clicked like they have like a photo gallery.
How
and
old
like
is
you
this
click.
shit?
Oh my god, dude, you fucking. All right, so you click the button for photo gallery, and then it says like a blank page, and it says click here for photo gallery again. It says like a link. You click it, it opens up a new shitty page, and like the photo gallery itself is like fucking 4 inches by 4 inches. It's real bad.
Listen, if they just sell gun parts, what do they need to have a good website for?
They don't.
Exactly.
But let me see. They have 22 images total.
Oh wow.
Probably the original 22 images.
Is it in black and white?
No. Some of them are.
Are they
no.
so? Oh really?
Some of them are. The like they have some older pictures, but oh dude, they're like the shittiest quality pictures. You could tell they were like taken.
Were they taken on a Motorola Razr?
Like some of these people are dressed in like fucking early 2000s attire.
Oh,
they're old fucking pictures,
dude. Like I said, man, certain things with the AR has come a long way. They've come a long way since then. And I'm really just glad about that, man. It gives a lot of people more options. I mean, red dots alone, dude, have come so far. Now they're putting red dots on pistols, reliable red dots, waterproof red dots on pistols, and some people are carrying them with red dots. And
there's some police agencies that have that.
It's great.
I mean, in some departments, you actually you could. In my department, they give you an option, and that's like pretty much they give you like 3 options for a firearm,
right?
The 17 and 19 and a SIG. You can't have anything else on it yet. We'll see if that changes in the future. If you're like in ESU, I think you could have like a flashlight, and they have like the fucking the holster that goes down the leg. It's probably super comfortable. Of course, we're not allowed to have that shit because we look too military. But what's it called? There's some departments that I like have read about where you could have any gun you want. As long as you bring it to them, you can qualify with it, then you can carry it. And people have fucking flashlight attachments, fucking the red dots, and they're cool, man.
Yeah.
I could see where that would be really helpful in like a life and death like situation, just to be able to not have, you know what I mean? Like,
I think the next AR I want to build is going to have a red dot on it. I have iron-sighted guns, and this is the only gun I have with an optic on it.
You had a red dot.
That
it was like a shitty as fuck
that
red dot,
was-
and it like barely worked.
Yeah.
But you did have one.
But that was old. I actually,
Yeah.
I got rid of that years ago. But again, that was the technology of
Yeah.
8 years ago. You know, it was just one of those things where it's just like now the technology has become so far to where you could have a good, affordable red dot. I mean, you could go as expensive as you want, but listen, I don't have all the money.
I
in
would
the
love
world.
an AR, like build like a shorter barreled AR,
Yeah.
like a run and gun, and like do those fucking cool like
a
courses.
3-gun course.
Yeah, my partner was saying to me the other day, like she was like, "Yo, she was like, it would be cool if we went and did a like one of those courses,
Yeah.
you know, because like we could very well be in that fucking situation one day."
Oh yeah.
But she was like, it would be cool to like go and like do one like after the pandemic and shit is over. I would do it, 100%.
Yeah. Usually, I think you got to go like upstate or PA to do that though.
Yeah, well, for like they have classes for law enforcement with shit like that, where it's like just for law enforcement. It's very expensive, but that's the crazy thing about like my department is like you get like very minimal basic training, and then they're like, you should definitely train more, but like you're responsible to get there, the
Right.
paying, but by the way, it's very expensive, and you don't make any money. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like they
And
just
that's
set
one
you
thing.
up for failure.
That's kind of like I kind of got into firearms kind of like self-taught. Like I said, I just read a lot on the internet. I went out to the range, kind of learned what worked for me, what didn't work. And I'm not claiming to be any sort of pro or anything. I like shooting old janky guns, and a lot of times you don't hit shit with them. I
Yeah.
mean, but you know, with a gun, with any gun, you know, if you just have good trigger discipline, you try and get them sighted in, and you know, you could get really good results, reasonable results.
It's crazy that people fought wars with fucking with some of the guns.
I
You
think
know,
about that
and, like,
shit, man.
won
I
won these
I-
wars.
I
and-
really think about that, like with
It's
Mosins
amazing, man.
and like with K98s and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus. And then I have an AR, and I'm like,
holy shit! You imagine you fucking drop like a few ARs on the battlefield and just watch as like people start dropping.
well, you know, it's funny. Ian from Forgotten Weapons, oftentimes they say, if you could go back in time with any gun from any era, what would it be? And he's like, he always picks like an AR-15. Like it's, you know, and that's a guy that shot a lot of different guns, weird, janky ones, military
they
guns.
would like if you just like side by side that
Yeah.
and something else, like they would probably just look at it like, what the
fuck
is
this?
that?
Yes.
And then when you like showed them it, they would probably the other side would probably just give
I'd
up.
love to go back in time and give George Washington an M16 and be like, listen, you guys wrote the Second Amendment. Just make sure you might want to rewrite it and just be like, shall not be infringed. No, really, don't fuck with it.
Yeah,
you know?
especially the AR
covers everything.
Right.
But yeah, New York AR-15 is a great option. My recommendation would be, again, this is personal choice. You know, do with it as you will, but have the detachable mag. I mean, if you want to just like look cool,
You know how some of these laws, I just thought about this. Like, you know how some of these laws like specifically name the AR-15?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's stopping like a company just from changing the name?
Well, that's
of
what
the
they
gun?
did in the
Right.
90s. That's why things are like this Car 15 or this one here on this receiver. It says U.S. Rifle M15 SA, so
Right.
semi-automatic, model 15 SA.
Right.
So that's what they did. But
So like
then,
technically that if they did like a by name band,
well, then they got smart and then they said, okay, any copies, derivatives, or yeah. So
that fucking how broad is that?
well, that's the whole thing because they said they would name like certain guns,
right,
Like
yeah.
in New York, they said the Sega 12 you can't have it,
right.
But and then they defined a Sega 12, any semi-automatic
right,
shotgun,
right.
yada yada. But that's what they did in the 90s. They said, okay, this list of guns isn't allowed, but then companies were like, all right, we're just going to make a gun called this.
Yeah. Right.
And then it was fine.
Right.
It didn't. At the time in the 90s, you could have a pistol grip. It was basically like pre-Safe Act New York. You could have a pistol grip. You couldn't have a threaded barrel. You couldn't have a bayonet lug. You could use pre-band mags, which, I mean, I miss pre-band mags. I miss them. But
fucking whole thing.
Oh,
man.
I
just
know.
miss old New York. It's never gonna go back.
no.
That's the sad part. Like, and like we talk about it all the time, man. Once you lose your rights, you never get them back.
Right. And
It's
no matter,
fucked up.
no, you can't challenge the Safe Act.
Yep.
It's there. But you know what? Honestly, you have a gun like this, it's compliant and it does the purpose. And, what are they going to do? Are they going to ban semi-automatics? They could try. Are they going to say all AR-style rifles are banned? It's like, okay, well then what if you change something. Is it an AR style rifle? Or, if, for example, if you, instead of having a direct gas impingement gun, if you have a piston system, is that an AR? Because originally the AR had a gas tube. Now they make AR-15 style rifles with piston-driven systems in them. Or they made them for a while, but now I think Brownell's got the Brownell's. It's like an AR-180 style upper that you could slap on a normal lower. One cool thing about you could do with an AR-15 lower, John, is some companies make a single-shot 50 BMG upper that you could slap onto a normal AR-15 lower. So you could have a bolt-action 50 BMG upper slapped onto a AR-15 lower. So there's some more food for thought there. But
I really want a semi-auto gun that shoots 7.62 by 54R because I just have so much of it, and I love shooting that
those
round.
are very limited. Without going too expensive, the top would be the Dragunov, but those things are like $10,000, $8,000 nowadays.
Right.
They have the Romanian PSL, which is a semi-automatic. Those now are going for like $2,000, $1,500. They had the Molat Weber, which is in 54 rimmed. Those nowadays are probably going for over $1,000, but they're all on the used market. So you would just have to hunt around and find one. But like
the PSL?
Yeah, the Romanian PSL.
You showed me this last time. I would love one, dude.
Yeah.
It looks mean.
Yeah, it's just basically an overgrown AK.
Yeah.
It's not a Dragunov. The Dragunov is a completely different system than the AK. But yeah, those are pretty much your options, man, for semi-automatics.
So they have to make like an AR
or an SVT-40. You can get an SVT-40, Soviet SVT-40, which is a World War II gun. Which actually you can get in New York. It's legal, but you would have to register it as a Huron Relic assault weapon. You could buy it and then register it. SVT-40.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking...
It takes a 10
looks
round...
like an SKS.
It's the guy Simonoff developed... Or Tokarev. That's actually Tokarev self.
Yeah.
Tokarev designed the SVT. Simonoff design the SKS.
They look very similar.
They do. They function...
there's some clear differences, but they look very similar.
Yeah, they function a little differently. It's a 10-round detachable magazine, shoots 7.62 by 54 rim. They're actually kind of pricey nowadays, man. They're like over $1,000, $1,500.
Yeah, I know. I want one so bad.
Well, then buy it. Then what the fuck are you waiting for? What?
That's a lot of money, man.
It is. But if you want it, if you build it, it will come. But anyway, I think we pretty much covered the AR. Like I said, if you're going to build one, have a purpose in mind. Select the best parts you can afford. If you want to buy one, go with a reputable name like Smith & Wesson. I know IMI is making one now. BCM, they're kind of like a boutique higher end. Daniel Defense.
Do your research. Don't overpay.
Yeah, don't overpay. Shop around, man. Especially New York, man. They bend you over on prices for these things.
Yeah.
Like I said, certain shops that I saw, one in particular was selling a compliant Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 2 for $1,500. And I'm like, Before the pandemic, by the way, somebody I know, before this gun buying pandemic, bought a New York compliant Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 2 for out the door $800. And that included like a case and like some accessories from a local shop here on Long Island. So again, pandemic pricing versus real pricing, honestly, like $800.
Look, at the end of the day, the prices are going to come back down. They might not be what they once were, but they're going to come down.
No. Yeah.
So don't give these people the authority to hump you.
We'll just say, this is what the market is now. This is what people are paying. I had 10 people that bought these and paid this, so I could justify it.
Right.
You have 10 people that bought them either because they didn't know any better or they were just so impulsive and desperate that they felt the need to have this one. In reality, maybe they should have had it beforehand. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be shady. I'm not trying to throw shade in anyone.
I'm not going to fault anybody for wanting to buy a gun or buying a gun, but like it just sucks that now is the time, and every additional person makes it worse. Right. Every additional person justifies the high prices that not even shops, but even people are selling used guns for and shit, man. And then it even creeps into the milsurp world now. Ammo. I can't find 8mm Mauser ammo anywhere. I should have bought more of that shitty Ethiopian stuff when I had the chance. Oh, you fucked up.
Well, I bought 600 rounds of it.
You should have bought 1,200 rounds of it.
I should have, but... All right,
guys. Thanks for tuning in today. We're talking about the AR-15.
Yeah, man.
Taylor, thanks for bringing your AR.
Of course.
It was a lot of fun. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, everywhere you can find a podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, share. Taylor, do you have anything else to say?
No, just want to say thanks everyone for tuning in. Again, congratulations to John on his wedding.
Thank you.
Like I said, we took last week off.
Yeah.
And we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming twice a week.
Yep, until Taylor has another kid.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, or until I have another wedding.
Yeah.
But no.
Until either of us have another wedding or a child.
I think I'm probably next on the child list.
Dude, I'm surprised. Yeah.
What are you surprised at? We've been married for like a week.
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised there's not one already.
Oh, no.
Way.
Oh, we didn't get hastily married because I knocked her up. You fuck.
I thought that dress was a little tight.
Years. No, but like a lot of guys at work are having kids right now, and like they were all telling me, they're like, "You're next."
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, "Oh shit,
you're next."
Yeah, you next. Well, we discussed like waiting a year.
Yeah, that's a
but
good time.
she had floated the idea of not waiting a year, so
we waited. I think 3 years, 2 years. We got married in 2017.
Well,
we had our.
every time I'd see you, I'd be like, "When's
the baby?
What the fuck?
Why there no baby?"
No.
That's our Aunt Shirley.
Oh yeah,
Andrew's aunt. Where's my baby?
Her baby.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Remember, be safe, and most importantly,
Don't be a turkey.
thank you very much for tuning in to today's episode of the New York Gun Guys podcast. If you guys enjoyed the show, check out our previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you can find a podcast. We have new episodes every Monday and Friday, so check us out. We're also on Instagram and Facebook at NYGunGuys. Check us out. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Share it. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, stay safe.